Hello everyone, welcome to Cucina Divina once again. Another episode tonight. Salute a tutti, benvenuti alla tavola da vino. Tonight, make a simple pasta dish. We're going back to the pasta all the time, but there have to be thousands of pasta recipes that are so easy to make, and they're all different, So we're trying something different. We've never made this one before. It's a new one that I've seen around. It's become more popular, and this comes from the Calabria region of Italy, which, as you probably know, is in the Toe area, and it's the municipality called Tropea. And Tropea is famous for their red onions. And they're not just regular red onions, they're Tropean red onions, which are very sweet. They're only grown in a certain area in Tropea, and they have a DOC mark on them, which means they're regulated, and you can only be called that if they're grown from this area. Now, they're kind of hard to get. You can't get them online. I think they're like $4 a pound, but I don't know about the shipping. But we found red sweet onions in Publix, believe it or not. They're not from Italy though, they're from California. So we're gonna try these as opposed to the regular red onions. They're supposed to be sweeter. So let's show you the ingredients here that we have. We're gonna be using some spaghetti. Of course, our olive oil. We're gonna use some salt. These are the onions. These are the red onions. They're smaller than normal big red onions. And we've sliced them very thinly, Joanne, as you can see. So I'm gonna finish slicing this one. You can peel off the outer skin if it's a little tough, if it looks a little tough. I'm gonna put these all together in here. We'll separate them when the time comes. Okay, this one I can do this one more. Okay, that's that. Now we have, we're gonna be using some garlic. I'm gonna put 2 cloves of garlic in this. And I'm gonna slice it very thinly also. It'll give us the aroma, but if you don't like to eat the garlic, you can pull it out. At least you can find it. And that's it, we're not gonna chop it. Put that in there. Okay. We're gonna be using 1 cup of vegetable broth. We have some Pecorino Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan if you like. And we have some fresh basil from our garden. So this should take no more than 15-20 minutes, the time it takes the pasta to cook. So first step we're gonna do, we're gonna take our garlic and onions, and we're gonna come over to the stove here. My olive oil. And let me grab my spoon. Okay. We're gonna put 3 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. And going against tradition or common sense, I'm going to put the garlic in first. Because if you do that sometimes, if the oil is too hot, it'll burn. But we're just going to do that just maybe for about a minute till we can get the aroma of the garlic. Once we get the aroma out, it's time to go ahead. Because if you leave it in here, it's going to turn bitter. And I can smell that already. So. In the meantime, our pasta water is going. Okay, I can smell that garlic. That's really good. So now we're going to put the rest of the onions in there. And we're going to saute these onions in the olive oil. Oh, it might take 10 minutes or so. So let me go ahead and do that and keep stirring them till they get nice and translucent. And we'll come back with our next step. So we'll see you in a few minutes, I guess. We have returned. Our onions, you can see, Joanne, have cooked down a little bit, and they're nicely getting well done here. So next step, we're going to take our vegetable stock or broth, and we're going to put that in just a little at a time. And this should be, when we're done, this should make our onions nice and creamy. It should make a little bit of a creamy sauce. I have a cup of broth here. You can, if it looks like it dried out, I suppose you could put some more. I'm going to put this, raise it up a little bit to a medium. Meantime, our pasta water is boiling, so we'll be ready to add the pasta soon to get it al dente. Okay. Now I would think this is going to take about 10 minutes for this stock to incorporate and concentrate down. All right, one last bit of this. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And we'll adjust that later to taste. All right, so you can see that, trying to see what it is, right? It looks like it's soupy there, but that should cook down. And I'm gonna keep watching this and mixing it around, and we'll come back in about, I would figure about 10 minutes. So we'll see you then. Ciao. Hi, we're back. We had put our pasta in the pot, nicely salted water, and that's been going for, the spaghetti's taking 8 minutes. So it's actually been 8 minutes since the onions have been sauteing in the vegetable stock also. So I think we're about ready. So I'm going to shut off the pasta water, and we'll leave this, I have this on really low. So I'm going to move this over. We're going to add our pasta directly to the onions. Now, I'm not going to mind getting some pasta water in there also. I think the starch from the pasta will help the consistency of the sauce, I hope. We'll see. Oh, that shut off too. When we spill water on this stove, it's an induction stove, and it'll shut off automatically. It's a safety feature, but could be a little annoying. Okay, we're all out. I put this back. See if I can get this dried up and start it again. Oop, a little bit of pasta there. Yeah, okay. Don't give me a hard time here. It's off altogether now. There we go. Just gonna put that on really low. All right, so now we're gonna stir the onions with the pasta. And I think I'm going to actually maybe put another ladle of pasta water in here. Just a little bit. Let me do a little bit of pasta water. Okay, that's good. All right, so this is looking pretty good so far. All right, we got that all mixed up. All right, next, I'm going to add our cheese. This is pecorino, as I mentioned, but you could use Parmesan. And we're going to take basil. We're going to rip that up. Throw our basil in there. And I'm going to give this a nice stir. You can see how that's now coming together. Okay. Looks nice. Smells good. Okay, let's give this a try. Gotta bring this directly over to our table. And let me try the old twirling method. You can, we'll leave that going. Okay. That was a little bit, but that was a little piece. Actually, better off just scooping this out of here. All right.
Oh, mine should add some onions.
Yeah, I'm going to top that off with a little basil. And let me see if I can scoop out some of these onions. I think that's supposed to be the best part here, altogether. Should have used that to begin with. All right, so top it off with a little olive oil. And we are all set to try. Assaggiare means to taste. Nice. Taste the onions. The onions, tell you the truth, the onions are really sweet. I think maybe I did taste it for salt. I think you could probably use just a little bit more salt, so maybe don't be afraid to do that. Or you could use pepper on this too, I suppose. I like the onions. Very good. It was simple. Took the pasta took 8 minutes to cook, so that was it. So give this a try. Let me know if you can find those red onions anywhere, the sweet red onions, Italian onions. And until next time, salute a tutti, benvenuti a mangiare, tutti a tavola. Ciao.